Most people don't waste a year because they're lazy. It's usually because nothing ever feels like the right moment to start, or they're still trying to figure out what path is actually right for them, and before you realize it, another year is basically gone. You look back and think, I was busy, but what did I actually do to move forward? And it's not like you did nothing. You were just always preparing to begin. At some point, you probably told yourself you just need to be more disciplined, or motivated, or just have a better plan. But if that were the real problem, you would have started already. What's really happening here is more simple than you think. When nothing forces you to do something, time just goes by. Days fill up with small distractions, notifications, random tasks, things that feel productive but don't actually go anywhere. And the dangerous part is that it doesn't feel like wasting time. It feels like staying busy, and it makes us feel better temporarily, and suddenly months have passed. And just to be clear, resting is not wasting time. Sometimes you actually need a year where nothing big happens, where you're tired or too overwhelmed from life, just trying to get back to yourself, which is also more important than you think. That kind of rest isn't a failure. You are just recovering. The problem is when rest quietly turns into avoidance, when weeks turn into months and nothing ever shifts again. For example, this usually doesn't look dramatic. It looks like saying, I'll start when things calm down, or I'll figure it out after this month. And those reasons make sense until you realize you've been saying the same thing for half a year, not because you don't care, but because there was never a clear moment where it felt obvious to start. The issue isn't that you don't want change. It's that everything feels equally important or equally overwhelming. So, you stay stuck in the middle, thinking, planning, and wait for clarity to magically come, which feels safe, but also costs a lot of time. The way out isn't doing more or pushing harder, it's choosing a direction and accepting that it won't feel perfect. Small, boring actions actually work as long as they point somewhere. That's how progress sneaks back into your life. If you want a simple place to start, here it is. Pick one direction you care about this year, not 5, not a whole life plan, just one. Then protect 1 hour a week for it, or the amount of time you can afford to put into it. No pressure to be perfect, and no pressure to see fast results. Just one small action that points somewhere. Every week, consistency matters over everything. This year doesn't need to be some dramatic transformation. It just needs to be different enough that you don't look back and say, why didn't I start this earlier? Or why didn't I do this last year so my life would have been better now? And that's honestly not an easy regret to have. And yeah, that starts now. Let the new year finally do things right, doing something you wish you did differently before. You don't need a perfect year or to have everything figured out before the year ends. You just need a clear path laid out for yourself and taking those small, boring actions to get there. If this hit a little too close, you'll probably like what's coming next. Stick around,